Hello, everyone. This is Rabbi Tzvi Patinsky, RTP Tech Rav, and you are watching the first lesson of iMaster, Unleash Your iPhone's Hidden Superpowers. In this lesson, we are going to focus on your iPhone camera and how to transform it into a creative studio using the super powerful camera that's in your pocket. Let's explore what it can really do. So I am going to open the camera. I could have picked on the camera app, but since I have an iPhone 16 Pro, I can click on the camera control button, which is on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And when I click on it, you'll see the camera there, right? Open. If you swipe up, you see all the different types of features that you have right in your camera. For example, you can turn your flash on, so it's definitely going to be on during your picture. You'll see that was taken with a flash. You can turn your flash off, so it will be off, or you could keep it on auto. You can adjust the live auto. We have a live photo feature, as many of you know. There is such a thing as a live photo. So when I take a picture with it, live photo is on. I could turn live photo off, and then I'm taking the picture again. And you'll see the difference. Here a live photo is off. Here a live photo is on. So therefore, I can do a lot of things in post-production. You'll see on the left-hand side, it says live photo is on. I can automatically loop the photo. A live photo is a nice thing to do if you want to then put it into Instagram and use the boomerang feature. It already has it built in. You can loop it. I can bounce the photo. I can make the live photo into long exposure, which is very artsy, but you don't really see the hand anymore. Or I can turn live photo off just to get the picture. One of the other things I can do with live photo on is I can actually save the photo as a video. People don't know that, but you could save your photo as a video if you had live photo turned on. So now I have the photo. And I should have a video right here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So that's my video. That's my photo. That's not a live photo. And this is once again my live photo. And finally, when you're adjusting, you can click on the little button on the bottom. Let's revert and show you that again. On the bottom, there is a button with 3 sliders to edit your photo. And in that, one of the things you have, because the live photo is live, so I can actually go and I can move over the slider. And let's say I really want to be there. I can make that into my key photo and save it. And now my live photo has changed from the way it was before. So this is, in your camera, your live photo feature. So let's swipe up and look at the next feature. This is just to show you different types of filters that you can use. Amber, standard, vibrant, natural. So let's do vibrant. And now I'm going to go back and I'm going to take a picture with vibrant. And you can compare that picture, which has a very artsy, almost like an old style film grainy look, to my regular pictures. I don't really like the vibrant here, but it's something you can do, especially if you want to do like Instagram-like filters directly from your camera. So remember, that was over here. Moving it over, you can change how the depth of color is going to be. I'm just going to put it back to normal. Let's see how I can turn it to standard and now move it right to the middle and make it, yeah, wait. Good. Now I'm back to standard. And let me go back out. So once again, that's the flash. We had the live photo on and off. We had the different types of filters with colors. You can also change the size. So if you wanted a square picture, which is great for Instagram. If you wanted a 16 by 9, which is much more cinematic. You wanted the standard 4 by 3, which is what people have in most photo albums. You can change that there. You can change your exposure. Exposure basically is how much light you're allowing into your shutter. So you can actually lower the exposure to make it darker, less light, raise the exposure to make it more light. This is also a very good feature, although there is a night mode as well on the newer iPhone. This is a great way to kind of raise the color in your shot, and you can even decide where you want to raise the color with the exposure without having to use the flash. And then finally, at the right-hand side, there is the timer. Let's say you wanted to do a selfie with a group of people and you propped up your iPhone so you could, let's say I'm going to set the timer for 5 seconds. And then I'm going to move my phone down like this. I have no idea what that looked like, but you probably did. And that is the most god awful picture I've ever taken in my life. But I did it with my timer, and I didn't take a selfie. I turned it around. Actually, it's a little bit artsy, if you like that type of thing. And I will show it to the person who's here. Okay, there you go. And I know, I am in shape. My shape is round. So there you go. Okay, so that's how you can use your timer, which probably some of you know about, but some of you might not. I'm going to turn off my timer for now. So those are the features on the bottom of the screen. Now we're going to show off the burst mode. Let's say you are taking pictures at a sporting event and you want to take a burst of photos. You could take literally dozens or hundreds of photos at the same time with burst mode. You can move it around the room. It's kind of cool. So the way you do burst mode is, and when you hold the shutter, you just go like that and you keep going. You keep going and you keep going. And finally, I got a burst mode. I'm bursting away, taking hundreds of pictures while I'm moving. When I'm done, if I go in, it's only going to show one picture and you'll say, what happened? But if you click on the left-hand top, it'll show you literally every picture you took. And any picture you like, you can select pictures that you like. Let's say I want that picture. Okay, and I want this picture. And I want that picture. And ooh, I like that Israeli flag. Now I'm clicking done. And you can keep only your 4 favorites. And now if you look in your camera roll, let's go back to our camera roll. Let me just actually show it this way. And you'll see I have 4 pictures, and that was all for my burst mode. So once again, just to review the burst mode, because I don't think it's so easy to do, you put your hand not really on your shutter, but next to your shutter, and then you drag over. And if you do it right, you can keep bursting, and you have all these pictures. And then if you go into bursts, you can choose to keep all of them. You can choose to keep only some of them. So now I'm going to say done. Actually, I'm going to go back again to my burst. I'm going to select, I'm going to say done. I'm going to say keep everything. And now if I go back into my camera roll, I should be able to see, well, let's see, it's still a burst photo. So they're all there. Wait one second. This is my burst photo, but they're all still there. But now I can decide that I want that one. And let's look another one. I want a picture of me over there with her head down. And I want, let's say, that one. And I click done. And now I get all those photos in my camera roll from taking my burst mode. So that's the burst mode, which is a kind of a cool feature. And as I told you, you have to tap really next to the shutter and drag over to do burst because it's not so easy otherwise. Then you have the slow-mo and time-lapse, so you can use that. You have lots of different features here on your camera. There's photo. Obviously, there's portrait, where you could decide that I want to focus on that and then make everything else a blur. It's called bokeh, and it's very, very powerful way to focus in on one part of your picture. So let's say I want to take a focus and I want my portrait mode and I'm clapping to focus on that picture over there. I take that photo and you'll notice that this is in focus and not the rest. It's really great for portrait. That's why it's called portrait mode. Regular photo mode. Spatial mode, I never knew what it was, but basically it's for if you have one of those fancy new VR headsets from iPhone that cost thousands of dollars from Apple. That's what that's for. Pano is a very good feature. Let's say, and some of you might have done this, you want to take a shot of an entire room. And it's a big room, so you could go into Pano. You have to move very slowly and try to stay as straight as possible. And then you could take a shot that's really going to become like a wide angle shot of the entire area. So now you see that pano shot that I took. Another cool use of pano mode that people don't realize. Let's say you're somewhere where you want to get like a skyscraper going up to the sky and you want to get the whole shot. So if you hold pano sideways like this, I'm just going to show it with the items in my office. And now you're going up instead of side. Now I click on this, I got the same panel effect because I got a photo that gave me a much wider range of view than a normal picture of my entire bookcase. So that's a really cool thing to do if you're trying to get something outside. Let's say you're at the Empire State Building and you want to try to get a picture of it going up, or you're at the Statue of Liberty, or you want to show a Ferris wheel, any type of sculpture, you can do pano. And instead of doing pano going this way, you'll do pano going up to down, and you can get the whole range of visions. That's pano. Portrait, spatial, photo. Then we have cinematic. These are kind of, you could focus in on different elements. So now I'm doing a cinematic video. Okay, and that's a cinematic mode, which is kind of a different type of effect. Finally, we can try the two modes of slow-mo and time-lapse. So, for example, so now it's a slow-mo of that turning. Let's say we want to do something else a little bit more engaging in my slow-mo picture. So I'm going to try to get my keys over here. And I am going to so now you see my keys, and they're going to turn around in slow motion. Let's watch it go. And there I'm going very slowly, taking the keys again. And obviously slow-mo is the type of thing you could do in post. You run it into any type of video program. But it's a kind of a cool effect to do right then and there. And then finally we have time-lapse, where it takes videos only every certain amount of time. So I could turn on time-lapse. This is a very nice thing to do if you're doing, let's say, an artwork or a painting or something, and you want to show a time-lapse. And so there's the time-lapse video of it moving really fast, but you could do that for something going really slow and set it up to see something over time. So these are all the features that you have in your camera. Finally, there's something called AF-AE lock. So let me just show you that for a second. AF-AE lock, if you tap down and hold the screen while you have a picture going, so tap down and hold the screen, you should see AF-AE lock, and that will lock in place the focus and exposure. So now everything stays constant. It's not going to change anymore. If you tap again, you could turn it off. Now I turned it off. Okay, and finally, well, we could look at me as we're going here. So we demonstrate a lot of features just to go through it. So the basic features we demonstrated was when you slide up on your camera, you can see the flash, you can see the exposure, you can see the different types of filters and coloring that you can put in. You can see the different types of shapes. The 4:3 aspect ratio, 16:9. You can see the timer. We talked about doing things if you go and put it next to it, and you could take a burst of pictures at the same time. We talked about live photos. We talked about all the different, now we'll turn that off. So let's get that going here, and let's slide down and actually turn my special features off. And we talked about the different types of modes that go, the ones you might use pano occasionally to get a whole room, portrait if you want to get a focus on one person and everything else be kind of out of focus. So you could focus in, you'll see how much more powerful that picture looks than the regular photo, the video, the cinematic, the slow-mo, and the time-lapse. The last thing we're going to show you what to do is once you take these videos and now you want to bring them into iMovie to record them and do your basic video editing. So I'm going to turn this around and I am recording myself speaking. Hi, everyone. And I'm going to make a video right now, and I want to then put it into iMovie and see what I can get. So there we go. I took a video. You'll notice I have a green screen behind me. So I'm going to try to do a really cool type of effect. So I'm going to go to my iMovie. By the way, if I slide up from the bottom of my screen, I can just search. I can open iMovie. I can start a new project. There's a lot of fancy projects you can do, a storyboard, a magic movie. I'm just going to go to movie. Okay, now you have to select your first item for your movie. Now you'll notice I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not going to select my video. I'm going to select this bookcase over here, which is a picture, to create my movie. Okay, and I'm going to click Create Movie. And now what I want to do is, you'll see right automatically it does what's called a Ken Burns effect, where everything moves. But I want to turn that off, so I'm going to click and I'm going to turn off the Ken Burns effect. And I actually want to do a green screen effect. So I'm going to go here and click, because I have the move, because I'm already in the movie, if I click Add and I find something else that I want for my video, let's say this item, and if I click on the three dots, I can click green screen effect, and now you'll see the movie that I just made where I'm recording myself speaking. Hi, everyone. And where I have a green screen effect. There's a lot of other things you can do in iMovie. I'd recommend you play around. You can adjust how long it's going to be, how short it's going to be. You can do other effects. And when you're done with iMovie and you want to save your picture, you click on the share button, and then you can click save or share video, and just save it to your camera roll, and you can worry about what to do next later, get it up to YouTube, get it up to somewhere else. And now we'll see in my camera roll, I'm recording myself speaking. Hi, everyone. And I'm going to make a video right now. Okay, and so that's my video of myself using all the camera features. Here's some cool pictures I took of my garden. Here's some movies from today. That's a really nice feature. One other really cool feature I just want to show you. If you go into your photos and you want to adjust and you have a newer type of picture, if you click on the three dots, there's something called Clean Up. It's a really cool new feature. And I click on it, and it will remove things from your photo. So let's say, for example, one more thing I want to do is, let's say I took a picture, but there's someone in my picture that I want to get rid of. So, sorry, Mia, I don't really want you in my picture. So I'm going to click Clean Up, and let's see what I do if I try to go here, and we'll see if I can clean Mia up out of my photo, where I'm trying really hard. And now we'll go to Clean Up, and let's see, and Mia just disappeared from my photo. Wow, that's really cool and scary. I can also apply all sorts of filters, and then I'm done. And that's the lesson for today. For iMaster, unleash your iPhone's hidden superpowers. Your assignment now is to go around the school, take some really cool pictures and videos, and then some cool effects using what you learned, edit them into some type of production that you can show me tomorrow when we have class. That's it. I'm RTP, and I am out of here.